Warning, everything in this video and on this channel is for educational purposes only. All content is intended for viewers 21 years of age or older. All acts are performed by professionals and all people shown are 21 years or older. All acts are performed under the Legal Patient Act under Proposition 64 here in California. Please do not attempt to recreate or reenact anything you see on this channel. Hey, what's up YouTube? Dope as Yola here. Hope you're having a dope ass day. Welcome back to Story Time. Before we get into this episode, I want to talk about last episode, the scariest party ever. I told that on the podcast. I got a bunch of people saying, bro, you told this on Story Time. I just don't know which episode. I do hundreds of stories in Story Time through 6 years. I tell stories in person to people. I'm talking to Marty on the phone. I have a podcast where I talk about a lot of stories. I go on other people's podcasts where they want me to tell stories. I do a lot of live streams. I don't know which story I've told. If I told that story a couple years ago, I apologize. I don't know which episode it's in. I still can't find it. I've gone through season 1 through 5 or 4 and wrote down every single topic of every single story, even if it was a little piece of a story. Like I said, I do the podcast and everything. I have a great memory. I don't remember, like, you told that story, but to Marty in the middle of the night on FaceTime, or was it on season 1 of Story Time? Oh shit, was that a live stream? We're stoners, man. I have a great memory, but it's hard to keep track. I know the stories. I just don't know if I told that one to you. So I apologize, guys. This next coming week, I'm gonna go through it all again and make sure I write every single piece down. I have, like I said, season 1 through 5, but then I got to tackle the podcast. So that's going to take a long time. If you guys can help me out, let me know, like, yo, episode this, you said these 3 stories, that would help. So guys, let's get into this story time. I have not told these stories on this. I don't think I have. Now you got me second guessing myself because people are like, you told this, but like, where? I didn't tell it on the Story Time. I searched every episode. So this Story Time topic is about getting swindled, getting scammed, getting played. As you know, I've been played many times in my life just because I'm a nice dude. I take it as it comes, face value. Like, you look nice, you smile. Oh, you ended up being a bad person. So this story time topic is a little negative, but I think it's hilarious because none of these things will ever happen to me again. They're all life lessons. Even if I lose a bunch of money or I lose this, or it's okay. I'll never let it happen again. I will never forget, and I can teach the next homie that's going through, like, don't do that. That happened to me. I've done that so many times and so many homies have done it for me. So let's get into story number 1. All right, this story I was played on a global level. And what I mean by that is everyone around the world got to see me get played in real time, like on a global scale, like I said. Telemundo. I do not like Telemundo. I don't associate with them. I will never work with them. I'll never do an interview with them ever again. I am done. And I know a lot of you fools went, you don't even speak Spanish, bro. You're on Telemundo? Yeah, maybe that's why I got into this predicament, because I don't speak Spanish. Boom, let's set the setting, okay? I get an email from a reporter saying, hey, they would like to do a piece on me about the YouTube stuff. And this is when blinkers just got popular. So it's like 2018, maybe 2019. They hit me up and I said, do an interview for Telemundo. Maybe I can do something cool. All right. And I told her, I don't speak Spanish. She said, no worries at all. I have a translator. It'll translate on TV. Totally cool. This is before I had a warehouse. I'm not bringing her to my apartment. My friend's got an apartment in downtown. You know, those super sick ass buildings. He's got one of those apartments where you walk out, it's the whole city. It's nice as hell and it's super sick inside. So I said, hey man, let me use your apartment to do an interview. And he said, yeah, I'm not even home. I brought this reporter, a camera guy, and one other person she was with into my friend's home. I'm going above and beyond to get your setting nice for your interview. I'm only saying that because they really played me, man. So the day comes, I go to my friend's apartment, I clean up his apartment to look a little nicer for their interview. You know, like, also I want it to not look messed up. I don't want it to look dirty. Like, so I'm like, hey, my friend's apartment, meet me here. I go downstairs, I get him, I bring him up, you know, just being cordial. Hey, what do you want to talk about? Blah, 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 blah. We get there, they start setting up their cameras and she starts speaking to me in Spanish. And I go, I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. And she looks at the camera guy, looks at me, goes, you don't speak Spanish? I go, no. She goes, this is Telemundo. I go, I know that. In the email I told you, hey, I don't speak Spanish. Don't worry, we'll be able to translate. She goes, oh, that was my assistant. I go, well, your assistant should have told you I don't speak the language your show is in. Anyway, it's off to that start, okay? So she's sitting there telling me, hey, we had another YouTube weed guy, I'm not gonna say the name, Mexican dude, he's like, you know, the YouTube weed guy, and he was just not nice. He was not cool with us. What happened is I think that dude spoke Spanish and heard what they were saying or something. And like, I don't know, maybe he caught wind that they were gonna be jerks about this. I don't know. So we sit down, we're setting up, she mics me up. She's gonna say the question in Spanish so she can hear it. And then she's gonna say it again in English, and I'm gonna respond in English, and they're gonna voice over or dub my voice. Whatever they do, okay? Okay, and they said, please bring pens because the story's on blinkers. And so I brought a bunch of pens, bunch of cool different stuff to show them different things. I was super nice to the lady. And she looks like my grandma Grace. Like, she's a Mexican lady from Mexico, speaks Spanish, got blonde hair, she's very white. You know what I'm talking about. She's one of those Mexican ladies. So I'm sitting there talking to her, and then we start the interview. And as we start the interview, she's like, I'm just gonna ask you a series of questions, let me know. And she pops up a video. It's this video, boom, right over the screen. I did like the Ben Baller VVS pens. I just got them and just reviewed them, right? And I'm taking blinkers, I'm ripping pens, and she keeps asking questions. So with the epidemic of blinkers going on in schools, this is when dank carts were going out, Mario Karts, people were getting sick, vitamin E poisoning, getting fake carts, going to the hospital. Basically, you have a Wii channel, I had like 200K at the time, right? 200,000 subs. And like, yo, you're one of the biggest ones, blah, blah, blah. We really want to hear what you got to say. And they said, so what do you say to a 13-year-old that's looking to buy a pen? And I went, don't do it. If you got to buy a pen from a guy that made it, it's going to get you sick. Would you buy moonshine from your homie in 6th grade? Then don't buy a chemical from him. I was really trying to get my point across that I am not for the black market sale of pens. I do not think kids should be going out there doing that. And she said, what about blinkers? And I go, they shouldn't be blinking anything. They can't go to a store. You don't know what's in that. It's research chemicals, basically. You don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I went and did a testing bad pens, and I went to a lab a couple years ago. The stuff that came back in these reports was dangerous. And they were all fake pens. They were all fake pens. So she's talking to me, asked me questions, and in between takes, she's like, thank you so much. Like, this is better than we could have. We're not gonna even interview the next guy. This is everything we need. You're very informative. Thank you for being so articulate when you speak. I'm like, thanks, lady. I've never done a podcast. I never did shit. So I was just like, I hope I'm saying it good. And she's like, no, thank you so much. This is great. And she keeps asking questions about blinkers. And then she says, please take a couple blinkers so they can get it on camera, get B-roll. So I'm like, take a blinker. They're like, can you take a big one? We want to like get the reaction and get the different angles. I'm like, yeah. I took like 4 to 5 back to back, and I started, I was dying, right? Sweat. I was like, sorry guys, I ripped it too hard. Like, no worries at all. We just wanted the B-roll. That's great. So I'm talking to him. We stayed for 25 minutes just talking about other stuff. I only did weed content at the time. I never did anything else. I had push trees going, but that was it. So she was more like, oh, wow, I can't really do much more with you. You're just a pothead, is what she wanted to say, but she was saying it nicely. So I wrap up, I walk him downstairs, I give him my number, take my email. Thank you so much. You need any pictures or anything, please let me know. Let me know when it comes out. Everything's good. So about a month goes by, I get an email saying, hey, get ready. This is what time the episode's gonna go out. You're gonna be featured at this time. I was like, oh, cool, man. I'm gonna be on TV. I just had a History Channel little thing with me with giant joints. I'm like, wow, I'm on TV. Oh my God. So here it comes. Up next, something, blinkers. And I can hear the guy, I don't speak Spanish, man. And it's just me coughing. I was like, damn, you just used me coughing for the intro? That's not good. And then I'm watching it, I'm like, I don't know Spanish. Sick. I was looking at it like, wow, I'm on TV, that's pretty cool. And then I'm like, are those skulls? This feels bad. This doesn't feel like what we talked about. And then it just had me coughing in slow-mo. And then it went back to, kept playing clips of my video of me almost dying, hitting blinkers, just dying. I'm like, what are they saying? I don't like this. So what did I do? I hit up my homie. I'm like, yo, what are they saying? He goes, bro, what? So it turns out they only used a couple of my answers. They voiced over everything, didn't use any of my answers, only used questions. And you know what the thing was? This guy, Thomas Dopus Yola, wants underage kids to smoke blinkers. It is the new wave. And then I am a terrible influence on the youth because I encourage blinkers and fake cartridges. I didn't believe him. I had to translate. I had to Google translate it. They just spurned me. They just kept using me. And then they saw the numbers on the video and they kept climbing, and they said like sickness, And it was like my views were climbing with people getting sick. So what happened? Grandma Grace, my grandma that's never seen, this is before I told her what I did. She caught a little clip of me on Telemundo because it stays 24/7 on the second TV in the kitchen because she stays in the kitchen. Not good, guys. Not fun. They really used me to promote it, to make me look like a bad person. And it was vile. So what did I do? I hit the woman up, she didn't answer, so I text her, hey, very politely, you really, really went above and beyond to be a bad person. Like, I told you everything. I said the exact opposite. I'm so sorry you feel that way. My bosses wanted to go another direction with it. I'm like, what do you mean your boss wanted to switch it? You flipped it on me. And then she's like, I'm so sorry that you feel that way. And I just politely told her that she was a bad person, unprofessional. And they just kept running it. It's on the website. You can still find it. Something blinkers, dope as Yola on Telemundo. Let me know, all you Spanish speakers out there, let me know how bad it is. Because I don't know exactly what they said. Just Google translated it. It's not good. So, that was the time I look like an international villain on TV across every Latin country in the entire world. Looks at Dope as Yola as a bad guy because he wants your kids to smoke blinkers. All right. So, this story takes place in 2021. Marty and I just started, boom, right over the screen. Dope as Usual podcast. We just started it. We're in episode 3. And we got approached by an agency. And this agency hit us up. They saw our social media, and we're looking at them. They represent a lot of new big podcasts. I'm like, wow, is this how it works? 3 episodes in, they're already hitting us up. So me and Marty are super juiced. We're on the phone with them. We're talking to them. We're going over all this cool stuff. They're getting us ads. They're like, yo, this is how much you're gonna get paid for this ad read. This is how much you're gonna get paid. It's a 60-day net, which is like, yo, we'll pay you in 60 days. In my head now, I should have called it like, why do you need 60-day net on me? Why don't you just pay me now? Now I see all the signs. So we signed with this brand called Notorious, all right? They do a lot of podcasting, and they're really good at playing the part. So they get us, I don't remember if you remember the podcast, something called Stereo. It was kind of like a Twitter community, the voices, the spaces, Twitter spaces people were doing 3 years before that. And it was very popular. Marty and I would have an emoji and you would just talk. It was actually really fun. I really liked the sponsor. But Notorious, I should have knew right from the get-go, man. Right when I walked in, I should have just smelled it. Marty and I get there. It's on Skyline, if you want to know where it's at, in a super nice area of Beverly Hills, like shockingly nice. So we're gonna go meet the team. We started the contract, we did 2 ads. If you remember, we did a vlog there when Marty killed the butterfly with a drone by accident. That's the place, that mansion, that Richie Rich Baps house. That's what we're talking about. Marty and I, hey, let's meet at this spot. Cool, I don't know where I'm going. I start getting closer, I'm like, where are we? I don't know where we're at. I just know every house looks like Fresh Prince. So, I pull up, I get out, I see Marty, and we both look at each other like, who is this? I look at the 16-foot tall gate. Just from me to you, that's like a $30 million, $40 million house. It's crazy. Walk in, meet the guy that we've been talking to. I'm like, yo, what's up? That's why he's the face. That's why he's the face. He's a really nice guy. He's super relatable. We're talking to him. We walk in. I see a bunch of like famous people like that are internet guys, like the David Dobrik types. I notice all these people. I'm like, whoa, this is where we're at? We're in the cool kids group? Because, you know, we're like the stoners in high school, like, yo, that guy doesn't even show up to class, but he has good weed. Hit him up, he sells all the cheerleaders. I'm that guy in the world of YouTube, like, yo, we love your weed, but we can't smoke it with you on camera. We gotta stay clean, but off camera, hey man, you got some weed? I don't give a shit. I've been that guy my entire life. It's totally cool. But that's when I walk in and go, whoa, are we in? Is this how you blow up like this? Whoa. So I go in, there's like 14 chefs just cooking stuff for everyone. I look and there's people on computers everywhere working, pictures. What is going on? Not like super, like TikTok style famous, trending. People that are trending. And then I go outside, I'm like, let's get away from this. Let's go outside and like film something. So we go outside and no one's outside. There's a 75-yard side yard, a pool. You've seen the video, that mansion, this is what I'm talking about. So I meet the owner, his name is Peter, terrible guy. I meet him and as I meet him, like, why don't you look at me in the eye? Maybe he's just a little awkward. No, it's because he's a bad guy. If you look him in the eye, he'll turn to stone or something. He's evil, bro. I think he didn't want to look at me because he's like, I'm gonna rob you. I think he just feels bad that he knows that's the path he's going. You know, when like people like sign their soul to the devil in movies and like, it's so bad, I gotta keep going or it's gonna be me. That's him. Like he's working for somebody like, feed me innocent people and mess up their businesses. That's how I felt. Anyway, I meet him like, you're so tall. Look at me, fool. And he won't look at me. I'm like, bad sign. It's okay, maybe he's awkward. I continue, we do our whole vlog. You saw the vlog. Now we're still doing ads. We're about 14 ads deep. So like 14 weeks deep, and it is payday. It's been 3 months. Where is it? Oh, it's coming. Hey, it's coming. Wait, the wire didn't go through? Let us just wire you. Actually, what's your cell? You know what? Cell's down, we're at our limit. What's your wire? I'm like, but yeah, the wire didn't work. Every few days. Didn't go through? Can we just cashier's check you? Yeah, where to pick it up? Actually, you know what? Cashier's check's not gonna work. Can we just wire you again? Actually, you know what we're gonna do from our other bank account? I'm like, oh my God. Me and Marty are doing this. Okay, we're brand new. We're just like, we don't wanna like piss them off. We're working with these companies, they're huge. We're like, all right, just let us know when you're gonna pay us. Because we didn't know better, all right? Now, no, not gonna happen. And we're what, episodes deep? A couple? We're brand new, dude. We're not even like 5 months old. So we're like, you know what? We're probably the smallest show they handle. Give them some time. Give them some more time. And more time. Then give them some more time. And then get them to where they block my number. So I go to this Instagram account. And when I look at the comments, there's 40 other people going hard on him, talking about suing him. Where's my money? Where's my check? Marty used to track people down for collectors. He used to be in a collector's agency. He used to work there. He found everything about this man in like less than 2 hours, found out where he lives, found out 50 open lawsuits against him. Why we didn't do that first, I will never know. We just trusted. He has like 14 lawsuits on that block from he was squatting in the house. We didn't know that. He was squatting in a $30 million mansion. When they gave me a dirty look when I got out of the car that day, I was like, oh, sorry for parking in front of your 95-foot driveway park. Like, bro, what? Because they hated anyone that walked in there because the guy was squatting. They were waiting till he leaves so they can lock it, and he just had somebody stay at all times so he could squat there. But nobody knew that. And the thing is, when I got there, they're like, neighbors. Turns out they don't like you because they're all squatting there. It's a weird game of like, don't say anything. He's gonna walk in and think we're his friend. So that's how I felt. I DM him. He's like, yeah, man, we're gonna get back to you. I'm like, so why are we blocked? What's going on? I'm like, oh, actually, I don't handle that. Just passing it off and passing it off. Out of all these things, it was like over $2 million he had from all across like 80 different shows that he was just embezzling, guy. Smart guy. Go rent a house for the weekend, but never leave. Squatters' rights. You're in California. Oh, actually, let's spruce it up a little bit. You know, get some computers in here. Hey, actually pay those TikTokers to come and make a video. So when our other clients come in, they're like, what, these guys are just sitting here? This is where they make their content. Oh God, you guys are crushing it. You see what I'm saying? And he came in on a call. Nice to meet you, man. He wouldn't look at me in the eye. Nice to meet you, man. Yeah. Oh, and walked off like he was on a call. I'm like, that guy's busy. All right, I'm not gonna bug him. He wasn't busy. He's probably talking to his damn lawyer. Months go by. We find so many different Instagram pages from so many other people. It's not just podcasts, it's home loans, car loans, Airbnb, squatting and selling houses. This guy's a menace. I don't know how he's not in federal prison. I will never know. He probably is, actually. It's been about 3 years. He's got to be in prison. Anyway, he blocked me. He blocked the podcast. He blocked Marty. I made a fake account trying to get in there. Nothing, bro. He is on private. I don't even remember the last name anymore. All I remember is they ended up paying us a portion of it, and then we're like, oh, okay, they're cool. And then that's when they started blocking us and not getting. I'm like, why can't you just pay us all? I'm like, oh, actually, it's maxed out for this month. Give me whatever you got. It's totally fine. Me and Marty are just like, they're not gonna pay us, dude. And I'll just be transparent. It was like $30,000. It's not a little amount of money. It's a lot of money, dude. That was the biggest pay thing we've ever done, and me and Marty just had to do this. All right, I guess we'll just. That's it. Nothing ever came about. Nothing ever happened. That was it. That company ended up imploding. Every single show they had posted that they're not with them anymore. It just got to the point where I just couldn't believe that you can swindle this many people with a huge profile online. And nobody's ever gonna do anything. He didn't punch me in my face. He slapped me in my face, metaphorically. And I'll take a metaphorical slap. It's okay. I don't need to track a person down or any monetary value. That's crazy. There's nothing funny to it. That's it. Me and Marty just got swindled. That was it. All right, let's get on to the third and final story. This happened end of 2022, right before I moved into the last house. So As you guys know, push trees. I've been doing this since 2013. In 2013, I went through like 3 printers, right? They sucked. Guy swindled me. Another person that got me. Another guy, all the shirts messed up. He wouldn't give me my money back. Those kind of things. I found somebody, and shout out to HG Outfitters, my friend Charles. I used to wear a lot of their clothes. He introduced me to his printer in San Francisco, which they are terrible people now that I know. Supreme Ink in San Francisco, don't ever use them. They do all the NBA, they do Thrasher, they do everybody. Don't use them. I'm gonna give you from the very beginning up until it went bad. There's a man named George. I'm gonna use his real name. His name is George. George is a drill sergeant in the Army for years, decades. Very disciplined man, black dude, maybe 60, looks 30. Basically David Goggins. He's David Goggins, but he prints shirts. Super, super disciplined, and literally called me, oh, my little brother, man. He used to front me $6,000, $7,000 orders and let me pay him in 3 weeks. 10,000, let me pay me in a month, man. I know you guys are just starting. Like, he was my homie. He helped me out. He helped me with everything. I used to drive to San Francisco, unload the boxes because I didn't have a big enough car, and we would throw shirts in my car. One time we have a picture of Rosie completely covered all the way up to her neck. Stacked, and like a little piece of cardboard so it wouldn't get under my brake. Trips to George's. George, man, every time we pull up, what's up, man? Oh, you smell good. He's just an older, like, oh, I don't really smoke no more, but I'll take a joint from you. He's just cool, dude. Every print we had, he'd hang one up in his office. Like, you guys make the coolest designs, dude. I love doing your guys' stuff. Just such a nice person, cool guy. And we worked together for 6 years straight. Then he ruined like a $50,000 order. It's the biggest order I ever did, and all of it peeled. And his assistant took care of it. And then turns out he charged me like $3 extra on each shirt when he could have just, you said, hey, you shouldn't put that print there because I'm gonna charge you double. How about you just put it here because you already have one here and I'll use the same screen. He could have did that for me. He didn't do that for me. It was cool. He didn't swindle me. His assistant just didn't want to help. Afterward, he ended up giving me my discount. Like, he's my homie. He looks out for us. I have nothing but good things to say. I've sent so many people his way. And then what happened? He fixed it. The next run, same exact thing. So I said, George, I need you to fix what the problem is. I'm gonna have to step away for a little bit. I went to another printer for about a year, and I didn't have the same like vibe with them. I just felt like they're like, okay, give me your stuff. Here's your stuff, give me your money. With George, he was like, yo, so this is what I think you should do. This print's gonna be, and he was more I'd send him Christmas presents. George is cool, until he wasn't. So, remember, he's 40 years older than me, maybe 35 years older than me. He's a grown man. He's been around the block. He knows what's right from wrong. He knows when he's playing people. You know when you're being a bad guy. You know when you're being a good guy. Little brother, you're like my big brother. That relationship to this, dude, I was more sad than I was mad. I go back after a year and go, yo, he's like, yo, I fixed those problems. I don't know what was going on with your order. It didn't happen to anybody else. I'm like, George, I didn't want to go anywhere. I just couldn't keep hoping my order was right. You know, we got mess ups here all the time. He would fix it. But like, that's the most money I've ever spent on anything. And I had to take money out to get that order. And the sales coming back were gonna help me pay it. It was almost like I'm pre-ordering myself. Anyway, what happens is the pandemic happens. You know, now it's 2022, toward the end. He does a run of Homies for Life for me, the Homies for Life tee, and they mess it up. And I go, hey, that color's not even right. Like, that's a wrong color. How did this happen? Once again, his assistant took care of it. And he's talking to his assistant like, dog, you messed up the entire order. It was only like $10,000, right? And I'm not saying only like it's not nothing. I'm saying only because it's not, at least it's not 50. Give it back me in 3 weeks. Can you please fix this? But it's the Homies for Life joint. I haven't dropped it yet. No one has the design. He messed up the blunts and the joint. I'm like, okay, cool. What about the mess ups? He goes, it's a loss. I'm like, all right, I know, I'm sorry. And I'm like, I'll take some off your hands or something and I'll give them away to fans. I'll buy them at you at a discount. I'll do giveaways with. I'm trying to help him. I'm like, I'll take like 300 of them out of 1,000. Like, I'm trying to help, dude. And he's like, no, don't worry about it, man. Like, I'll figure out some. We'll use it as mess ups. We'll use it as something. I'll write it off. I'm like, George, you need help. Please let me know. Please let me know. So I pay him in full. He usually pays a deposit. I'm like, I'm gonna pay you in full, man, help you out, blah, blah, blah. Couple weeks go by, we start talking about he wants to do this, and see, he doesn't have an Instagram for his huge company, so I make an Instagram, I make an email, I make a Twitter, I make a YouTube for him, make all of it, tidy it up, go, here's your passwords, change your password when you want, here's the email you're gonna use, it's George Supreme YouTube, blah, 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 blah. I made it for him just because I was like, Jordan needs help. He needs to advertise himself more. That's what he does best. This is what I do best. Let me help you. So he's like, Thomas, thank you, man. I'm like, yeah, whatever you need. Yeah, and he was hitting me up every other day like, yo, what about this post? I'm like, good post. How about use that one first in that carousel? That's a more attention grab. I'm just consulting him, helping him. And I'm like, yo, let me know when you get those shirts. Stop answering. He didn't answer. I'm like, George is on it. Maybe he's sick. You know, it's a pandemic. Maybe he's just sick. I hope he's okay. So I hit up the assistant, like, yo, what's up with George? He's like, no, he's good. I'll let him know you called. I'm like, all right, weird. A week goes by, I hit him again, nothing. Nah, something's weird, dude. And then I'm walking, when I moved to the apartment in Burbank, the cool one. I was there, I was walking from my room, the film room's on the left, I take a right, fridge is right here, island's here, windows there, I remember everything. I walked out and I got a DM. I remember when I saw it and I went, huh, who's this? I got a DM from somebody saying, damn, somebody's scamming you, making fake clothes. And I'm like, dude, no, please. I already go through this with Amazon, for Temu, with Shein. Everybody steals my stuff. Let alone now it's like a streetwear brand. Like, nah, dude, that's too personal. Huge brands, faceless brands, take my stuff. A streetwear brand, take my stuff, and you're rocking it, and you're making it, and you're from California. I gotta call you out. So I go to the page, and this guy, not a streetwear brand, he resells hella stuff. Blanks, shoes, belts. He's just hustling his ass off. Some black dude from Frisco. And I'm like, San Francisco? That's where my printer's at. Coincidence. Start going through his page, and he's got hundreds of Homies for Life shirts. And I'm looking at him like, you scamming ass fool. Printing up my and then I look and go, that's my tag. Why don't you just make your own company at this point, bro? You're making my exact clothes, just make your own company. And they turn it around like, that's my back of the neck tag. And the guy's wearing it in another post, like, that's my hem, that's my shirt. Like, there's no way a scammer reproduced my tags and shirt on the blank that I use. Like, it would cost you so much, you might as well buy it from me and not go through the trouble. So I'm looking at it, I'm looking at more pages, and I DM him like, yo, what is going on, fool? How in the world do you have my design I haven't dropped? This is not cool. Stop selling my shit. I don't like this. I'm Better Business Bureau on you. Like, you're a real person selling stuff. Not gonna happen. He's like, bro, dog, I'm so sorry. I just bought these off a guy. He was selling them, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you didn't. That's my new design that has not came out. You're a lying ass fool. And I let him, I was pissed. And as I'm waiting for him to DM me back, I'm furious. And I'm going through his posts, and I go through a post like a week ago, and it's hella shirts. He's in the warehouse with hella shirts. My shirts are out on a box, and I'm like, this little bastard. And I just hear George's voice, and I go, no. And I scroll back, and he shows another clip of the same place from before he's buying other stuff. And that's Supreme Ink's warehouse. I'm like, that's the warehouse. That's where me and George first met. I'm like, well, what if it's not George? Warehouses look the same. Benefit of the doubt. San Francisco's big. Shit. I'm just trying to like, nah, George wouldn't do that to me. He still hasn't answered me back. I text him, call him, won't hit me back. I'm like, George would not do that to me, dude. I knew he wouldn't do that to me. Still hasn't given me my order. I paid him $10,000 right then and there. Still hasn't given me my order. So I'm like, all right, he's got 10 bands of my money and 10 bands worth of my shirts. See how this goes. I'm like, there's no way. And I'm just listening to the video, and I hear somebody go, and people ask me, George, what kind of price can you get me on these shirts? And I'm like, you know I'm the guy. You just referred to yourself in third person. There's no getting around it. That's George. And I just like I video message the guy I'm talking to. I'm like, yo, bro, I just heard whose voice it is. I know where you got him from. It is not your fault. Make your money. Please don't sell him less than this. Can you please hold off on those for a couple weeks? Because my shit don't come out for 2 weeks. It would really ruin my drop, bro. And I told him like that. He's like, dog, I'm gonna go give these back, get my money back. I'm not trying to be involved in this. I'm like, you know what? Thank you for that. Called his assistant. He didn't answer, so I left him a very, very pissed off text. He called me back immediately. I let him have it. I didn't cuss. And at the end, I was just told, I hate his assistant. His assistant doesn't like me at all. He is Sideshow Bob mixed with Karen. He's a dick. I've never bought him a Christmas present. Let's say that. I don't like you, Ephraim. And he's always bitching at me. Well, you messed up. And I'm like, actually check your email where you said yes. So give me my money back. And then every time he's like it's his money. He's not even a partner. He just works there. It's like he's always trying to get over on me. So I leave him a text, and I'm on the phone with him like, hey, I know what you guys did. What are you talking about? No. His voice got all high. And I was just like, dude, I just want to let you know, like, I looked at you guys as friends. You burned me. You're gonna get the karma coming back to you. Your life's gonna suck, and you fucking and I was like, and you ride a bike all the time. You have a car, right? Drive your car. And I was like, I hate cyclists. I was like, have a good life, Ephraim. But and I just hung up, and I blocked his number. Got a call back 3 seconds later from a blocked number. I'm like, huh, bet you it's George. Answer, hello. I'm like, what's up, George? Thomas, what's going on? I'm like, so you call me from blocked numbers now? No, see, my phone messed up. I'm like, George, your phone rang. You can tell me your phone's off? Your phone rings. It goes straight to voicemail when it's off. He's an old man. He doesn't know that. He just assumes, well, I didn't answer. My phone's broken. Stupid. I had to make an email for you. I know more than you and I don't know a lot. I'm sad. And when he called me on the block number, I just got pissed. And I just let him have it, dude. And the thing is, he's a drill sergeant. He's a man of like integrity. He's like 6'3". He's like what you imagine. He's Major Payne, but funny. He's a cool dude. He'll hit some weed sometimes. He has a poker game every Friday with his homies, all his homies from the Army. They get drunk, they smoke cigars. They're those guys. Like the Bernie Mac poker game, that's his poker game. So I like looked up to this man like, man, when I'm old, I want to be in shape like this. Fool runs 10 miles a day. Like and here I am scolding his ass. And I'm like, George, it's been 9 years. You're like my older brother. Thomas, like, George, don't say another word. Let me speak. And I'm sorry. And I was like, you're broken. You're a broken man. Oh, I forgot to mention, before I did the last order, he's like, we might have to shut down. Like, we're struggling bad. I'm like, George. And that's why I made the Instagram and the YouTube and shit for him, because I got to help. And I started to make money at that time, and I was thinking, I will give George half of the money I have right now to keep it open, and I'll just own part of it, and I'll get cheaper blanks. And I was just trying to think, like, how can I help George? Because he's helped me so much, and now I can help. Even when all this is going on, I'm like, how can I help George? And I'm talking, so I forgot to tell you, he's in financial troubles. So when all this started happening, I'm like, block my number, huh? Not answering? Like, are you hurting that bad for money that you're just gonna like blow me off and keep my money and sell my shirts? Bro, I would have fronted you money just so you can keep it forever. I don't care, you're my homie. Just ask, I would have let you keep that 10 right then and there, even though I need it. You helped me when I had no money at all. Like, I will help you. I told him this. So I'm like, George, don't say another word. And I'm like, George, I know you're selling shirts to so-and-so and so, and I can hear him. I'm like, I got his Instagram. He's like, I don't even know who you're talking about. And I go, George, when I send you this video with you talking in the background, what are you gonna say to me? All right, you know, man, I'm sorry. And he just started admitting it. It's like, I didn't know what to do, so I started selling the clothes. I was like, George, I told you I would have bought them from you and giving them away as giveaways. Like, I didn't want to put that on you. Like, so you're gonna steal from me and swindle and put out my designs before they're even out so people can buy them over there instead of buying them from me? Like, what are you doing, man? So Thomas, and I was like, actually, George, don't talk, let me talk. And I just kept doing that to him. I was like, you know what? Shut up, George. And I just told him like, yo, you're 30 years older than me. I should not be telling you how to do good business or my lawyer's gonna contact you. I can't handle a lawsuit, Thomas. I can't do it right now. I was like, George, you better come up with my money in 5 days or you're getting sued. Thomas, I'm not gonna be able to get it for 6 days. George, you have 8 days. I'm not a jerk. I just want my money, dude. He's like, Thomas, I'm very sorry. I'm like, George, I really appreciate your friendship. You taught me a lot of stuff, but you also taught me not to trust everyone. You were like my older brother, and now you're just some old man that's stealing from me. I was like, I need that money. You have 8 days. Pay me in 8 days. I blocked him on every single thing. I haven't talked to him since. And that's the end of the story. Broke my heart, man. It's month 3. Without him, none of those first jobs would have went out. It's really crazy to see the lengths that people will go. And that was it, guys. So from story number 1, getting globally trolled by Telemundo and getting swindled into saying stuff that I never actually said. So part 2, Marty and I, super go lucky, super happy. We got swindled. We did get swindled. And off camera, my friend here, as soon as we pressed stop, he goes, I know who you're talking about, Notorious. I'm like, oh my God. What are the odds that it's not just us? There's other people. There's so many people out there that you say Notorious and just go, who? Why? Exactly, man. They owe him a Honda. Like, they owe people so much money. So me and Marty got swindled because we were too nice, too happy-go-lucky, and we just wanted to be part of the group, man. Do your own thing, all right? Let them pay you first. And story number 3 was very, very upsetting. I actually think about that fool often. All these life lessons, all of them, will never happen to me again. So this has been getting swindled, being too nice, getting scammed. I'm not sure what to call it, but yeah, a lot of bad things that happen, but also like, it's okay. Get past those things. I know a lot of people like, well, I got played when I was younger, now I can't trust. No, you're just better with your trust. Be smart. It should make you smarter, not scared. So thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for being here. Once again, I appreciate you. Guys, do me a favor, Zoomies. Go ahead to Zoomies right now. They have all the new gear. Zoomies across the nation has all the new Push Trees gear. And maybe no, it's not gonna be out yet. pushtrees.com. We have a whole new collection coming out. I got thousands of hats on the way. I have a huge glass collab coming. The Tyson Dopest Shop collabs coming. There's a lot of stuff in the works. So thank you guys so much. It is exactly 4:20. I have a video dropping right now on my channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. Drop a like, notification bell. We're about to hit 1.9 million. Let's go, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. As always, until next time, I'm Dope as Yola. Have a dope ass day. Oh, this is perfect. All right, I gotta get in that premiere. Cut.